UCF. I'm Brandon Hoig. I'm with the UCF site on rivals.com. Just take me back, I guess 13 years now. You're at Texas playing behind Colt McCoy, obviously established starter. So you're looking for a new opportunity. You transferred to Tulsa. I know Gus was the offensive coordinator at that time. Just what was it like? Those early memories of Gus. I knew you set out, I think the '08 year, which was this final year at Tulsa. Just kind of take me back to that process and your first impressions back then of Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I just remember taking my official visit there and seeing the offense that Coach Malzahn had built and the innovation and the way they were getting the ball to the playmakers, the way they featured the quarterback. And, honestly, I was just really excited. And after that visit, I knew that's where I wanted to go. And the relationship that me and Coach Malzahn built just from that official visit weekend, I knew it was going to be a special one. And, the rest is history.
GJ, this is Matt Marshall, the Orlando Sentinel. What was it that kind of drew you to the UCF job? And can you kind of talk a little bit about what that discussion was with Coach Malzahn about maybe coming here and taking over the job here at UCF?
Yeah, we jumped on the phone and we talked about it a little bit. And really, I just told him, I'll start swimming right now for this opportunity. This is a no-brainer. It's a top 10 program. And I just wanted to be a part of it, be back with Coach Malzahn, the reputation he has, and I know we're going to win here. And it was a no-brainer for me and my family.
Hello, Coach. Trace Trelko, Sons of UCF. You've been a bit of a traveling man the last couple of years with some stops. What was it about your time with the Eagles that's influenced your coaching?
I think just, around professionals every day, being around the best of the best, seeing how it's done, seeing the best players every day, you kind of get, especially in recruiting, you kind of get a feel of what it's supposed to look like. Obviously, Coach Peterson is a tremendous coach, Super Bowl winning coach, and just every day just sitting there in the meetings with him and be a sponge and soak up everything I could. It really influenced my professional career, and I'm very thankful to him and Jeff Stoutland, the O-line coach, Press Taylor, Mike Groh, Deuce Staley, all those guys really had a big influence on my coaching career.
Hey, Coach, this is Kyle Nash with a three-point conversion. So a lot of the talk since Coach Malzahn has come in is about waking the sleeping giant that's here at UCF. Coach Gibbs talked about it a bit yesterday himself. Where is it that your role would fit into the waking of the sleeping giant?
I think just developing quarterbacks. Like I just said, I've been at the best of the best. The NFL as a player, as a coach, so helping develop Dylan and the rest of the quarterbacks and recruiting. I pride myself in being a great recruiter, and anything I can do, obviously, to help the team win, I'm going to do. But those, two key areas are what I'm going to focus on.
Hey, Coach. Andrew Glucko, Black and Gold Banneret. How has your prior experience at Tulsa against UCF kind of played into your decision to coming to Orlando?
Obviously, I knew the type of athlete that will be here, the speed. So once again, it was a situation where, it was a no-brainer for me. I have, I know the conference pretty well from being at Tulsa and then GA and at SMU. So, I just knew this was one of the top programs around the nation, the top in this conference.
GJ, Jason Beatty with 24/7 Sports. You spent the past year at the University of Hawaii. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel and previously Mackenzie Milton are Hawaiian quarterbacks. What is it about quarterbacks and being developed in Hawaii? Obviously, Tua and Marcus Mariota, but what did you learn from your year at Hawaii, and what are you excited about Dylan?
Yeah, I think they just start training at a very young age with the history of the run and shoot there in the state with June Jones. They grow up throwing the ball, and I think they're just they're natural. And just watching DG on film, even last year when I was at Hawaii, getting some ideas. He's just a natural passer. You don't have to, the arc on the deep ball. It's very natural for him. He's very accurate. Got a lot of moxie to him. Just being around him the last week, his leadership skills are off the charts. So I think he has all the tools to be a top level guy at the next level. And obviously he's already proven that at the collegiate level.
Coach Brandon Hellwig again, rivals.com. So what's kind of just the process been like for you since you've arrived here, I guess, in the last week and a half? Is it just kind of getting to know the players? What's kind of been your day-to-day focus, I guess, as you try to get ready for spring practice, which will start before too long?
Yeah, I think getting to know the quarterback room was the first thing I did. All those guys are great people, calling their parents, getting to know them. It's a family around here, so we want to make sure. And as soon as my wife gets here, we'll have them over to the house as soon as the COVID stuff clears up. But and then obviously besides that is recruiting. Just on the phone 24/7 with high school coaches in the Orlando area and the state of Orlando, and then obviously the state of Florida.
GJ, this is Matt Rochelle again from the Orlando Sentinel. Kind of a bigger question. When you look at a quarterback, what makes a good quarterback? And what is kind of you've noticed over the last couple of years during your job looking at quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think first is the it factor. Do they have that it factor? Some guys have it and some guys don't. When the lights come on, do they perform or do they not? There's a lot of guys that are pretty good in practice and have a good arm or they can run well, but when the lights come on, they perform. And that's what I'm most excited about DG, man, is that dude performs now. He's a great player, and just looking forward to get to know him a little bit better.
Hey, Coach, Kyle Nash again with the 3-point conversion. So it's been said that soon you coaches will, if you haven't started already, go into the proverbial woodshed and preparing for spring practice. What do you envision so far? And I know it's early on. What do you envision so far would be your main focus as you stepped off onto the field with DG and company to get spring practice going?
Yeah, that's definitely already begun. We've been up here early in the morning, late at night, getting ready for spring practice. And like I said earlier, I think, just focus on, DG and the quarterbacks, obviously, getting those guys prepared, getting those guys ready mentally for practice. And then anything else Coach Malzahn needs, pass game, run game. I feel very comfortable with both. And just, getting together with the rest of the guys and developing a plan and see what those guys did well last year. I think that's an important piece of it. What did these guys do well last year? Right? How can we incorporate that into our system and really building this system? Obviously Coach Malzahn is running the show and just building this system to be the best it can be.
Coach Brandon Hellwig from Rivals again, just kind of going off that note, talking about the offense. What do you think an offense at UCF under Gus and with Dillon Gabriel is going to look like? Maybe be reminiscent of some of those Tulsa offenses you were a part of, or what do you think an offense might look like?
High scoring. I think that's what it's going to be. Whether it's a run, pass, whatever it is, we'll take what the defense gives us, but it's going to be explosive, high octane. We're going to get after it. I know that. Put a lot of points on the board.
Trace Strelko again with Sons of UCF. How much of the offense do you think you can, introduce during this spring camp? What's the learning curve that you expect during spring?
Yeah, I think we're just going to set the foundation, is what Coach Malzahn said. We're going to set the foundation. We really want to evaluate during spring. I don't think it would be wise to throw a lot at them because we want to see what we have on the roster. So just setting the base foundation, then we'll get into the bells and whistles, once we start our summer program and getting ready for the season.
Yeah, GJ, it's Matt Rochelle again. You mentioned Dillon, obviously. When you come in, you've got an experienced quarterback like Dillon. He's been here a couple of years. It's not like you have to really kind of remold the guy. What do you want to do with him, and what do you plan to do with him in the offseason, kind of maybe talking with him so he can make that next jump, the next level of jump?
Yeah, I think, just looking at the offense a little bit from last year, maybe just looking at some of the things that I can help with and my pro experience, protections, check downs, right, when the play's over, taking care of himself, just kind of being a pro. And obviously he's got the leadership qualities, and just keep on developing those.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Glucko, back, Black and Gold Banneret again. We talk a lot about Dillon Gabriel. Have you actually had a chance to look at any practice film from the other quarterbacks on the depth chart?
A little bit. I definitely watched all their high school film. Not a ton of practice film, to be honest with you, but I watched all their high school film. And I'm excited, to be honest with you. I think there's some guys in that room that can then, do what we want to do, and some athleticism. Obviously some high profile guys that were recruited all over the nation. And so excited to also work with those guys and develop them. And you always got to have more than one. So that's definitely going to be something I'm excited to work with those guys.
All right, last question from Jamie.
Thanks. Hi, Coach. Jamie Say from WKMG. We're the CBS affiliate here in Orlando. Welcome. Just back to Dylan. From your experience, what have you seen in terms of improvement in a quarterback from year 2 to year 3? And how much upside does he still have after what you've seen of him on tape and as you get to know him?
Yeah, I think obviously he performed at a very high level last year, but I think, like I kind of said, knowing when the play is over, right? Knowing when to check the ball down, taking care of yourself. You got to last the whole season here. This is a deal. You're the most important guy on the field. So you got to understand when the play's over and protect yourself. And obviously the longer you're in the system, the more you're going to feel more comfortable. You're going to be able to master that system. You look at a guy like Tom Brady that spent so many years in the system. There's a reason why he's so efficient at it. So we got to get him in the film room. I got to get with him, meet with him, and get him back to that level of be able to, I guess, master this offense.